folks, this is Tom with Six String Spice. Today I've been getting a lot of questions recently about what kind of guitar do I play. So I wanted to do a feature on my guitar. Now this is a 1990's Washburn J6-S. And emphasis on the S. This one has it on the truss rod cover up here. You can see that. And the S, I'm told, and I've read, and there's conflicting opinions about it, but I think that most people, there's a consensus that the S means solid top. So on this one, that means a solid spruce top. And I believe that would be a pressed top. This is clearly, it's not a carved top, not an instrument at this price level, which is a really good deal. I'd actually picked this guitar up used, and you see these guitars go for, several $100s, up to, they're always under $1,000, let's put it that way. So it's a really great deal if you can think about it. You get a solid spruce top, laminate back and sides and everything. And the back it's really pretty flame. I don't know if you can see that. I mean, it looks like maple, but I've also seen that it's, sycamore, which it's a Korean-made guitar, so I guess it depends on what woods are locally available. I think this one, like I said, is made in 1995. If I look at the serial number. It comes with Grover tuners, which I really like. They're older, they're decades old, but they still hold and tune perfectly. And one of the other things is that if I had the money, I would buy an L5, a Gibson L5 for sure, which would have the solid carved top spruce and the flame maple solid back and sides. So this guitar is a good budget version, I think, of an L5 guitar. Now, pickups sound really good, sort of similar to a Gibson 57 Classic humbucker. I did not change the pickups in this. I would like to one day, but I think that the amount of, you can really hear, it sounds pretty decent for, a $500 guitar, give or take. Now, I do have it strung with flat wound strings. These are 12 gauge TI flats. So these are good strings. These have been on here for, wow, about 7 months. So I need to change them soon, but I think it still sounds pretty lively. I mean, well, sounds fine. The other thing too is that the tailpiece, I like it. It's just Washburn, the W. If I could, I would have an L5 tailpiece, but it's hard to find those things. You can't, wow, an L5 tailpiece would probably cost more than this whole guitar if you were to buy it as a separate part online somewhere, and you just can't buy them anyway. I guess Gibson likes it that way. Now you have the bridge. This is a wooden bridge. It's slightly compensated. It's not like a tune-o-matic, but it's got a little bit of compensation. The guitar, I noticed that up high, it stays in tune pretty well. A little bit of intonation issues. I mean, it's a floating bridge, and I've set it up, and it seems to be pretty good. There's a couple issues though that I've experienced with it. I do get this like ghost rattle, this vibration. I can't seem to shake sometimes. And what I did is I took a Post-it note and just kind of folded it up several times to make it stiffer, and I put it in between this back pickup and the pickup mounting plastic there. So I think that's the source of the rattle, was a pickup. Could be a spring in there. But I did take the pickups out one time and looked in there, and I was able to confirm, this is a solid top. You can kind of tell if you look at the grain of the wood. If it were laminate, you would see the 3 layers, but with this, I was surprised. It was, it's fully solid spruce. You can just sort of tell too, looking at the F-holes, which are nicely bound. You can tell the thinness of the top. It's hard to see on this one too, but I love this guitar, man. It's sort of got some bear claw going on in the spruce, which I think tells me it's solid. Typically, if it were laminate, you might not see all that nice bear claw in there. You might just see more of a boring grain pattern. I don't know. Nothing against laminate guitars. I love laminates. ES-175 is such a fantastic instrument too, and it's all laminate, a Gibson guitar. So other than that, I can go through some more details, but there's some nice touches. The fingerboard inlays sort of like a Super 400, a little bit like a Gibson Super 400. Now this is not as big as a Super 400. This is a 17-inch, I believe. So again, comparable to an L5, a little bit bigger than an ES-175. and smaller than a Super 400, which I believe would be 18 inches. That'd be a big guy. So the only thing I might think about doing in the future, like I said, is upgrade the pickups. I kind of like I might upgrade the pick guard if I can find like a kind of a nice red, like they have on the Gibson L5s. But other than that, there's not a thing I would change about this guitar. I was Googling, looking for L5 copies and stuff at one point in time, and this guitar came up, and the price was unbeatable. Like I said, it was several $100s, so it wasn't really. I could try it. It wasn't much to lose. You could resell it, probably not lose much money because it's, it's a used guitar anyway, fully depreciated, right? So, I really like it. I'll show you some different. I think up high it sounds good. Voicings are easy to play. I don't think it's as long of a scale length as a true Gibson L5, which would be 25.5 inch. I think this is a 24 3/4. So, doesn't quite have that L5 sound due to the scale length, but it does have the ability to play some of these like Johnny Smith style voicings with a lot more ease than you otherwise would. On an L5 guitar. The last thing I would talk about, and again, I think I covered everything, is just, that when you're looking at a jazz guitar, you want to obviously have a full hollow body. And the acoustic sound to me is just as important as the electric sound, because I spend a lot of time playing unplugged, just around the house and things. And this guitar does have a good unplugged sound. Maybe if I don't know if I can turn my volume down here, and I'm using a microphone. This is an Audio Technica AT2030. If I kind of get closer to it, maybe you can kind of hear the acoustic sound of it. A little bit of rattle going on in there. Like I said, it has that persistent issue, and I find that if I just sort of wiggle the pickup, it goes away. So let me turn the volume on the electronics back up now. So again, this is the Washburn J6-S 1990's model. There were different versions over the years. They changed some things. I think some of them had like the different design up here. This one has the Montgomery, it says. I guess obviously West Montgomery. Real pretty, just mother of pearl. It's hard to see on the video, but it's very, very, very beautiful. The finish is a little bit on the thicker side. It's definitely poly. It's not any nitrocellulose at this price point, but it's a little bit thick, but it still lets the guitar breathe pretty well considering the price range here. And again, back of the neck looks like maple. Some of them have like the 3-piece neck. This is just a solid neck. I guess this is indicative of the 90s Washburns. And then we have a multiply binding all around, which is really, really pretty, because let's face it, when you're getting a jazz guitar, everything matters on these guitars. The sound, of course, is paramount, but also just the way that it's constructed, the wood that's used, and down to the details. And hey, who doesn't like a pretty guitar? So all the binding's really, really pretty on it. Anyway, if you have any other questions, shoot me a comment. And anyway, hopefully I'll be doing some more videos featuring this guitar. Check out some of my other videos where I'm doing solo guitar and playing it. Hopefully showing a little bit better what this guitar sounds like, because I know that's important. All right, thanks a lot.